Thou hast no part, nor in the gods in heaven, and thou usurp'st a power not thine. For this the avenging spirits of heaven and hell, who dog the steps of sin, are on thy trail. What these have suffered, thou shalt suffer too. And now consider whether bought by gold I prophesy. For yet a little while, and sound of lamentation shall be heard, of men and women, through thy desolate halls. And all thy neighbour states are leagues to avenge their mangled warriors, who have found a grave i' the moor of wolf or hound, or winged bird, that flying homewards taints their city's air. These are the shafts that, like a bowman, I, provoked to anger, loosen at thy breast, unerring, and their smart thou shalt not shun. Oh, boy, lead me home, that he may vent his spleen on younger men, and learn to curb his tongue with gentler manners than his present mood.
Exit Tiresias.
My liege, that man hath gone foretelling woe, and oh, believe me, since these grizzled locks were like the raven, never have I known the prophet's warning to the state to fail.
I know it too, and it perplexes me. To yield is grievous, but the obstinate soul that fights with fate is smitten grievously.
Son of Meneuthebs, list to good advice.
What should I do? Advise me, I will heed.
Go free the maiden from her rocky cell, and for the unburied outlaw build a tomb.
Is that your counsel? You would have me yield?
Yea, king, this instant. Vengeance of the gods is swift to overtake the impenitent.
Ah, what a wrench it is to sacrifice my heart's resolve! But fate is ill to fight.
Go, trust not others, do it quick thyself.
I go hot foot. Bestir ye one and all, my henchmen, get ye axes, speed away to yonder eminence. I too will go, for all my resolution this way sways. 'Twas I that bound, I too will set her free. Almost I am persuaded it is best to keep through life the law ordained of old.
Exit Creon.
Thou by many names adored, child of Zeus, the god of thunder, of a Theban bride the wonder, fair Italia's guardian lord. In the deep embosomed glades of the Eleusinian queen, haunt of revellers, men and maids, Dionysus, thou art seen. Where Ismenus rolls his waters, where the dragon's teeth were sown, where the bacchanals, thy daughters, round thee roam, there thy home. Thebes, O Bacchus, is thine own. Thee on the two-crested rock, lurid flaming torches see, where Corisian maidens flock, thee the springs of Castaly. By Nisa's bastion ivy-clad, by shores with clustered vineyards glad, there to thee the hymn rings out, and through our streets we Thebans shout, all haul to thee, Ibi, Ibi. Oh, as thou lovest this city best of all, to thee and to thy mother levin-stricken, in our dire need we call. Thou seest with what the plague our townsfolk sicken, thy ready help we crave, whether adown Parnassian heights descending, or o'er the roaring straits thy swift was wending. Save us, oh save! Brightest of all the orbs that breathe forth light, authentic son of Zeus, immortal king, leader of all the voices of the night, come and thy train of Thyiads with thee bring, thy maddened rout, who dance before thee all night long and shout, thy handmaids we, Evi, Evi.
Enter Messenger.
Attend all ye who dwell beside the halls of Cadmus and Amphion. No man's life, as of one tenor, would I praise or blame. For fortune with a constant ebb and rise casts down and raises, high and low alike, and none can read a mortal's horoscope. Take Creon. He, methought, if any man, was enviable. He had saved this land of Cadmus from our enemies, and attained a monarch's powers, and ruled the state supreme, while a right noble issue crowned his bliss. Now all is gone and wasted. For a life without life's joys I count a living death. You'll tell me he has ample store of wealth, the pomp and circumstance of kings. But if these give no pleasure, all the rest I count the shadow of a shade, nor would I weigh his wealth and power 'gainst a dram of joy.
What fresh woes bringest thou to the royal house?
Both dead, and they who live deserve to die.
Who is the slayer? Who the victim? Speak.
Haman, his blood shed by no stranger hand.
What mean ye, by his father's or his own?
His own, in anger for his father's crime.
O prophet, what thou spakest comes to pass.
So stands the case. Now 'tis for you to act.
Lo, from the palace gates I see approaching Creon's unhappy wife, Eurydice. Comes she by chance, or learning her son's fate?
Enter Eurydice.
Ye men of Thebes, I overheard your talk, as I passed out to offer up my prayer to Pallas, and was drawing back the bar to open wide the door. Upon my ears there broke a wail that told of household woe. Stricken with terror, in my handmaid's arms I fell and fainted. But repeat your tale, to one not unacquaint with misery.
Dear mistress, I was there, and will relate the perfect truth, omitting not one word. Why should we glose and flatter, to be proved liars hereafter? Truth is ever best. Well, in attendance on my liege, your lord, I crossed the plain to its utmost margin, where the corse of Polynices, gnawn and mauled, was lying yet. We offered first a prayer to Pluto and the goddess of crossways, with contrite hearts, to deprecate their ire, then laved with lustral waves the mangled corse, laid it on fresh lopped branches, lit a pyre, and to his memory piled a mighty mound of Mother Earth. Then to the caverned rock, the bridal chamber of the maid and death, we sped, about to enter. But a guard heard from that godless shrine a far shrill wail, and ran back to our lord to tell the news. But as he nearer drew, a hollow sound of lamentation to the king was borne. He groaned, and uttered then this bitter plaint: "Am I a prophet? Miserable me! Is this the saddest path I ever trod? 'Tis my son's voice that calls me. On, press on, my henchmen. Haste with double speed to the tomb, where rocks down-torn have made a gap. Look in, and tell me if in truth I recognize the voice of Haman, or am heaven deceived." So at the bidding of our distraught lord we looked, and in the cavern's vaulted gloom I saw the maiden lying strangled there, a noose of linen twined about her neck, and hard beside her, clasping her cold form, her lover lay bewailing his dead bride, death-wedded, and his father's cruelty. When the king saw him, with a terrible groan he moved towards him, crying, "O my son, what hast thou done? What ailed thee? What mischance has reft thee of thy reason? O come forth, my son, thy father supplicates." But the son glared at him with tiger eyes, spat in his face, and then, without a word, drew his two-hilted sword and smote, but missed his father flying backwards. Then the boy, wroth with himself, poor wretch, incontinent, fell on his sword and drove it through his side home, but yet breathing, clasped in his lax arms the maid, her pallid cheek incarnadined with his expiring gasps. So there they lay, two corpses, one in death. His marriage rites are consummated in the halls of death. A witness that, of ills whate'er befall, mortal's unwisdom is the worst of all.
Exit Eurydice.
What makest thou of this? The queen has gone, without a word importing good or ill.
I marvel too, but entertain good hope. 'Tis that she shrinks in public to lament her son's sad ending, and in privacy would with her maidens mourn a private loss. Trust me, she is discreet, and will not err.
I know not, but strained silence, so I deem, is no less ominous than excessive grief.
Well, let us to the house, and solve our doubts whether the tumult of her heart conceals some fell design. It may be thou art right, unnatural silence signifies no good.
Lo, the king himself appears, evidence he with him bears. 'Gainst himself, me, I quake, 'gainst a king such charge to make. But all must own, the guilt is his, and his alone.
Woe for sin of minds perverse, deadly fraught with mortal curse! Behold us, slain and slayers, all akin! Woe for my counsel dire, conceived in sin! Alas, my son, life scarce begun, thou wast undone. The fault was mine, mine only, O my son.
Too late thou seemest to perceive the truth.
By sorrow schooled, heavy the hand of God, thorny and rough the paths my feet have trod, humbled my pride, my pleasure turned to pain. Poor mortals, how we labour all in vain.
Enter second messenger.
Sorrows are thine, my lord, and more to come. One lying at thy feet, another yet more grievous waits thee when thou comest home.
What woe is lacking to my tale of woes?
Thy wife, the mother of thy dead son here, lies stricken by a fresh inflicted blow.
How bottomless the pit! Dost claim me too, O Death? What is this word he saith, this woeful messenger? Say, is it fit to slay anew a man already slain? Is death at work again, stroke upon stroke, first son, then mother slain?
Look for thyself, she lies for all to view.
Alas! Another added woe I see. What more remains to crown my agony? A minute past I clasped a lifeless son, and now another victim death has won. Unhappy mother, most unhappy son.
Beside the altar on a keen-edged sword, she fell and closed her eyes in night but erst. She mourned for Megareus, who nobly died long since, then for her son with her last breath. She cursed thee, the slayer of her child.
I shudder with affright. Oh, for a two-edged sword to slay outright a wretch like me, made one with misery.
'Tis true that thou wert charged by the dead queen as author of both deaths, hers and her son's.
In what wise was her self-destruction wrought?
Hearing the loud lament above her son, with her own hand she stabbed herself to the heart.
I am the guilty cause. I did the deed, thy murderer. Yea, I guilty plead. My henchmen, lead me hence. Away, away. A cipher, less than nothing. No delay.
Well said, if in disaster aught is well, his past endure demand the speediest cure.
Come, fate, a friend at need. Come with all speed. Come, my best friend, and speed my end. Away, away. Let me not look upon another day.
This for the morrow to us our present needs, that they whom it concerns must take in hand.
I join your prayer that echoes my desire.
Oh, pray not, prayers are idle from the doom. Of fate for mortals refuge is there none.
Away with me, a worthless wretch who slew unwitting thee, my son, thy mother too. Whither to turn I know not. Every way leads but astray, and on my head I feel the heavy weight of crushing fate.
Of happiness the chiefest part is a wise heart, and to defraud the gods in aught with perils fraught. Swelling words of high-flown might, mightily the gods to smite. Justice meant for errors past, wisdom brings to age at last.
End of Part 2. End of Antigone by Sophocles. Translated by Francis Storr.